Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today I'm going to be showing you how I chose to rebox my copy of Tanares Adventures into the ultimate storage boxes. Now I don't own everything, so there's going to be some stuff missing. And this video obviously is designed for people who previously had Tanares Adventures Arena of the Contest and are receiving essentially the empty boxes. If you did the all-in pledge now this most recent time, everything's going to come in where it needs to be. So you don't need to worry about this video. A few of the things that do not fit in the storage solution in any way, shape, or form are anything from the Madness box. Okay, so this just, don't throw this box away. Everything stays in there. Good to go. And all of the boards. So this one here is the main board, which is pretty, just bland on one side and has some pre-populated walls for Arena on the other side. And then there was the two kind of cosmetic add-on boards right here. None of these fit, not even the main one, which is a little ironic in my opinion, and I'll show you where I think they were hoping it was going to go, but why it doesn't fit, and maybe second edition printing did it a little differently. But these don't have a spot, so not a big fan of having to figure out where those are going to go. All right, I'm going to start with box one, which is this one right here. First of all, there was some cardboard at the top of my box. Now, if you receive your all-in pledge, that's going to be where all the cardboard punch outs are, but it does leave a space, and I thought, oh, this space is where the board's going to go, but no, it's too thin to fit the board. So what is supposed to go there? The roof sags horribly without something here, so I have gone ahead and stuck my Arena of the Contest rule books, quest guides, tone guides, quick start guide in there. It fills that space nicely. They're easy to pull out. I'm not sure. I believe the Tanares Adventures is the reprinting, and so I didn't want to, tuck this stuff away, but that's just kind of filling that gap for me. All right, here we have the scenario miniatures and save slots. So what they did when they designed what's going to go in this box versus what's going to go in this box was a hope that if you just wanted to only have to pull down one box, the bare minimum, this is what you would definitely need. The only problem is the hero miniatures are over here. And this has the walls, the scenario, cosmetic, all that add-on stuff. But you would still need to pull your heroes out of here. This box, for the most part, is pretty self-explanatory. You just look at this, fill it in, good to go. My farmer doesn't quite fit in here very well. I've seen other people's videos where their farmer just drops right in, so I don't know if mine just got like twisted or something like that, but I mean, he's kind of in there. For right now, I have the skill tokens sitting in here. I am waiting on my player dashboards, which have the upgraded skill tokens, which I don't think we're going to fit in this other box anyways, so they're just hanging out in here. But what can go in here, not a lot can go into this. Certainly isn't going to hold your cards. What can go in here are your miniatures. So what my plan is that I will pull out the hero miniatures that I'm going to be playing with and store them in these slots so that I only have to go back into the hero miniatures board if I'm adding a hero to my party. At some point, I may not have room to fit everybody in here because I think I have like 6 heroes now in my party. You could easily probably fit 2 per slot in here. So we're talking 10 heroes, but that's what I plan to do with this. They're really just kind of empty slots to put whatever you want in. So there's that. All right, up next is easily the most confusing one, this one or the card one, but everything does have a slot. So we'll pull this out here and we'll do this one at a time. So this is the thinner one that sits on top, and essentially your largest add-on tiles are going to sit on top right here. Then you've got some, what is this, 4x2s right here, boom, boom, boom. All, or not all, but a bunch of your 2x2s are going to go here. They're going to go 1, 2, 3 deep. And then under these 3x3s here, oops, you're going to see that there are some 1x2s, some 1x3s, and the remainder of these. And so there's 2 of these here. You can just pop these off the top. And here, I forget what these were. Yeah, see, there's some ice. So they don't match up perfectly, but everything's in there. But yeah, just make sure you do the 2, the 3, and the 4 square to fill in that gap underneath. That goes right there. Good to go. All right, let's put that up. And then this is the one that's got a lot more options to it. I could have, and actually what they, so I don't think that this was designed to hold the arena, the contest stuff, which a lot of it is right. There's some of it right here. There's some additional stuff thrown in here. They were having you put your skill tokens right here. Now, if I get my plastic skill tokens and they do fit into this storage solution, I'll probably find someplace else for these to go because I've got lots of empty space in this box over here. But since I have my skill tokens in this box, I have all my, you know, what are the larger status tokens here. These are all of the, you know, the class health counters. These are the hexagonal health counters. I don't even know what these are. Some more health counters. All the little miniature ones are right here. That's the only thing that'll fit in there. These are all the square tiles. So your individual small doors, your like little scenery things, switches, things like that. Your 2D20s, your hexagonal one. Now, depending on if you have first or second printing, you might have just 2 circles, but everything fits in there. And I've got my circular bases right there. Here I have the rest of my large overlay tiles. They fit in there. I've got my hexagonal bases right there. And this is where that crazy boss tray thing goes. It has to go in upside down though, so that there can be room for these guys right here. Then these are pretty self-explanatory. These here, the biggest ones here, and these here sitting over top of small ones. And there's just 2 sections like this. Here I've got some of the double wide doors. But there you go. Everything lays nice and flat, so these can sit on top. And there is that. So let's, where'd my box go? Put these back in. Okay. All right, up next we have the monster miniatures. These are, you know, very self-explanatory, but there was a couple things I wanted to point out in here that don't quite work. I ended up having a damaged doppelganger, and so I haven't been able to throw away the broken one, but his piece is in there. Which one was it? There a couple of these. The issue is that the picture here, and you can see there's a lot of blank space. I'm still waiting on my Prenumble pack and things like that. But the picture doesn't always, I think the picture is designed to show you better from the front what goes in there, but they don't always fit in that way. For example, these ladies here who, you know, are facing outwards, when you slide them in there, they're almost facing back down into the tray. So just keep that in mind, that sometimes you just have to rotate them a little bit to get them to work. All right, the rest of these are the super heaviest ones. This is not a game that you're going to be traveling around with. If you do, God bless you. but I may end up just putting these on the shelf without the outer sleeve so I can pull just the individual boxes out. So this has a few things. All of my, a lot of these player reference things, there's several of them here. I don't need that anymore. Are sitting on top. This is the updated rulebook. All right. This is the updated, campaign log. Anyway, I was getting it somewhere. And then we have our weeks 1 through 3 binder. So remember, they took everything from the quest journal, the adventures journal, or the quest guide, the adventures journal, and the city book, and stuck it into here. So you really only need one. The remainder of the weeks are in the other storage box, and when you get there, you just pull them back out. Underneath that, we have the board for the city and world phases. Fits in there. You can see the little notches. And then here we have the board that was a kind of a stretch goal add-on. And you might be saying to yourself, oh, why don't you just throw the main board in there? Well, I'll show you why in just a second. But the last thing down here is these skill trays, or whatever you want to call them, for all your characters. They fit in that slot there. Now, before we move on, here is the original game board, at least from the second printing. And you can't really see it, but there it is, overlaid over top. Okay, so it does go that way, but they're not the same thickness. So I figured this out when I was trying to put them in there. See how the original is thicker than this one. I guess they were using different thickness of cardboard. Basically though, if you put the original board in there, it will fit, it will squeeze down, but it's sticking up too high to allow this to lay flat. And then that just is throwing everything off. Then the book doesn't fit, and so on and so forth. So I don't know if you have the all-in pledge and you're just getting everything now for the first time, if the board in there is the kind of standard board, or if you have the same problem I do. Anyways, just wanted to point that out. I have all my little tokens for this, that you use on the skill boards, and with Tanares Adventures I also have my loot cards here. These are sleeved, so they don't all fit in the tiny little section of mini Euro size cards in the next box. So those are here, and these are these other hero skills or PvP. I don't know what these are for. I think these are for Arena the contest. So I just have those sitting there. This is kind of like overflow mini Euro cards right here. And that's that for this one. Pretty straightforward. Again, this one's pretty heavy for a thin little box, but that's definitely got some meat to it. But this one, oh, you always want to make sure this one is sitting on the bottom. Because this is all of your cards. All right. So we have our random dragon in here. It's just kind of weird that that's where he is, but that is where he is. The little secret envelope is tucked over here off to the side. One bit of note is that the dragon miniature does kind of snap into that plastic protective base. It's almost as if you're going to break it, but it does snap in there, and it is very secure now that it's snapped in there. At first, you kind of lay it in there and it's cockeyed and he sticks up and it just doesn't work. But that's because you got to like slide it in from the side and then pop it down. This is how I have chosen to store my cards. There's no right or wrong way. There are dividers. Unfortunately, something about this left side, they sit higher up on this left side than they do on this right side, because my right side cards, oh no, I guess they don't. They all have to be kind of tipped or else they're sticking up too high. I'm talking about the dividers. But I did have enough room here to put all of my items. None of my cards are sleeved, by the way, except for my loot, which gets shuffled a lot. But all of my items are here with their divided up by level, so check. Then I have all my, hopefully here, this is the main stuff I'm going to need in throughout a campaign of Tanares Adventures. So my NPCs, my structures, so Iron Hand, Weapon Shop, Tavern, Natural Lab, my adventures. These cards are replacing. So this is one of the things that was in the deck of cards that came in the bottom of mine. These are different. Instead of the letter being up here in the corner, it's down here, and they look different on the back. So replace those. I'm already on I because I'm trying to pick up where I was in my previous adventure before I paused. Behind that, I have my heroic actions, but this is where I have stored all of my hero cards, character cards, because I use these to, when you can earn a hero from the game, I just randomly shuffle these up and draw one, and that's how I get the new heroes. And then here I have all of my heroes and attacks. So this is all the like controller specific character cards. We go through all here, and then we get to all of the role specifics. This is all the brute cards, tactician cards, bruiser, tank, shooter, so on and so forth. Everything, there's enough space in here in the back that these can all kind of tip over and nothing is sticking up. This row, I'm not going to be using nearly as much. So comrades, I play four-handed. But if I want, I threw them right here in the front. Flasks, fate cards. It's weird that there were dividers for flasks and fate cards, but then all of these other ones, artifacts, scrolls, hero actions, boss powers, this whole thing are cards very similar to flasks and fate cards, but they didn't get their own divider. I don't know why. And then PvP, I only have PvP solo, so those are in there. And then here are all the basically monster cards. So the monsters, and then at some point here we get into the dragons, the gold dragons right there. These are then all of my special characters, because I'm not sure how the special ones work, to be honest with you, in Tanares Adventures. There's no board, there's no skill board for special characters. There's also no role cards for special characters. So for right now, my special characters are separated, but they're right there. Then here I have all my Arena of the Contest stuff, so artifacts and villains and scrolls and things like that. And then here I have this set of adventure cards that I believe are for the Arena of the Contest quests. They're just kind of tucked back here. And then last but not least, in the very back here, I have my cards that have been removed from the game. When you're in mid-scenario or mid-campaign, you're going to be removing cards. Mainly it's quests and adventures that you have completed or are no longer available. Or once you've like called, say, an Iron Hand soldier from your NPC deck, or once you've upgraded past certain levels of the structures. All of these cards, they say to remove from the game. So that's what I did with my very last tab. And that's where everything is right here. Now, I'm all about saving things and making it easier to set up between play sessions of my campaign if I have to put it away. So what I have right here, these are all my cards I'm currently using in my campaign. All my characters, the current adventures, all my items. I have these tucked here sideways. This box is nice. It comes out. So if you want to pull it out, it holds these villain cards and boss cards quite nicely. It's the perfect size for that. What it's also the perfect size of are the larger dashboard cards, but I don't use those in Tanares Adventures. I believe those are designed to go underneath here, laying flat, and then this divider sits on top of them to keep all this separated. But to do that, you have to take these and lay them flat like this in two sections, 1 and 2, and it just that didn't work for me. Again, I've got some space over here because I don't have all the scenery and walls and all that stuff. So you'll see where I put my larger dashboard things, but everything I need is right here. And then my saved cards are right here. That's what I'm choosing to do with this box. Again, there's no right or wrong answer necessarily for how to get everything back in here, but I spent a lot of time on this box, so let's pack up storage box 1. Got to get that first one in. Honestly, this one may be as heavy as the card one. All right. And unfortunately, I tried to see if like the monster box and the hero box would swap places, and they do not. So everything kind of has to go this way. And then last but not least are my rule books, just to keep, I know you guys can't see it from this angle, but as soon as I took anything out of there, the lid kind of bowed down. So I'm keeping it pushed back up again. All right. Over here is scenario box 2. This is the cosmetic and scenario miniatures. I don't have any of these. I thought I had backed the scenery pack, but maybe I didn't. I have to go back and figure out whether I did or not. Maybe I can pick it up someday down the road. But right now, I don't have this. So this box is completely empty, but it's very self-explanatory. You can see where everything goes. This little tray sits kind of here in the middle, pops out. I don't have anything hidden here. This is just an empty one, so that's why it's on top. Here we have our walls and extra miniatures. So some of these come from the legendary box, especially the walls, or the Prenumble, who I do have coming, hopefully. He's going to go right here. But I have all this extra space because basically I don't have the legendary box. I would have loved to have gotten just the figurines, the characters, heroes, villains, whatever, from the legendary box without the walls. I don't like the walls because they block line of sight when you're sitting at the table. It's too hard to see around them. So I have used this space because there are these 4 little miniatures in here that came with this new box. But here, these are all the large dashboards that I'm referring to. You only use these in Arena the Contest. So I don't need any of them. I think maybe I might end up needing some of these boss ones. But for right now, they are just sitting in here. Now, the one thing that I am unfortunately going to have to pull out another thing that didn't really have a home are my special dice set, where I have a clear and a opaque, is that the right word? Yeah. D20 for each character class. For right now, that's just living in here because there is no other place for it. That was a little sad for me. They just have a place for the standard black and white D20. I'll probably end up keeping these out just with other dice I have and then remembering where to find them. But this is where the walls would go. Again, look at the lid. It shows you where everything should go. Basically, there's these 4 miniatures and then there's walls down in here, and then there's larger walls sitting on top. That's it. Very straightforward, but these fit perfectly right there. So for now, that's what I'm utilizing this box for. Otherwise, it's an empty box for me. Hero miniatures are, again, self-explanatory. A lot of these, remember, don't be fooled by whether or not how well you can see it. It may be twisted around completely differently when it fits into the box. But otherwise, this is a very well done thing here. Just go through and say, all right, I'm working on blues now. Pull out all your blue miniatures, put them into that tray. And then last but not least, so again, this whole secondary box, I'm not going to be digging into a lot, and that's fine. This one, ooh, this little mini box more than makes up for the weight of the emptier boxes on top. And the hero miniatures, remember, we're gonna hopefully be pulling out the hero miniatures that we're gonna be playing with and storing them in that smaller box so we don't have to be opening this up every time we want to go play a game. But here I have some of the older stuff. So this is my old campaign log. This campaign log is no longer valid. They've changed some things on it, but I haven't transcribed into a new one, so I've got that saved there. The quick start guide, just because it was helpful. Then I have all of the remaining weeks. So this is all the remaining binders. When I make it through the end of that one binder I have stored over there, I'll just swap it with the next one and then move down. One thing I did do is this came shrink wrapped, and these little cardboard pieces were in between each book. It's a cardboard piece and technically a piece of glossy paper. I saved those because these fit better with them. They fit flatter. Otherwise, there was a lot of dipping in the middle, and I didn't want them to get warped. So just a little tidbit for me is save those and just store them in there. And then last but not least, right here, I have, these are all the cards that were replaced or are not being used anymore. For example, these are the old adventure cards. You can see how they look on the back there, very different. So these are the old adventure cards. The quest cards are in here, which are no longer used, period. Those are the ones with the letters, or no, these are the ones that are no longer used. The letter ones are right here somewhere. Yeah, these are the ones that were replaced. Basically, I could throw these away. I'm not quite ready to, in case I made a mistake in swapping some out. But these two spots are for large overflow cards. But that's it. Pretty straightforward. Hopefully this helps. You get everything boxed up. If you are like me and you already had some amount of Tanares Adventures and you just received 2 big empty boxes in the mail. Here we are putting everything back. Obviously the biggest, heaviest one on the bottom. Then our hero miniatures. Then our nearly empty walls and extra miniatures. And then last but not least, the cosmetic box, which for me is empty. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. That was a reboxing video for Tanares, Ultimate Tanares Adventures. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. If you have discovered a better way to store things, please let me know. I'm not 100% sold on where I have everything. Other than the dice, though, I feel pretty confident that I can mainly just stay over here in this zone to play through a campaign. But anyways, hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.